Today we are talking about why to-do lists don't work. Stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, to-do lists. The sacred to-do list. Yes, you heard me right. They don't work. So first I'm going to tell you why they don't work, and then I'm going to tell you what you can do instead. Okay, so to-do lists don't work because they never end. You always find something else that you need to do and you add it to your to-do list. So it keeps going on and on and on and on. And it's a little demoralizing. We get so stressed out. There's still so much left to do and we don't look at what we have done. So it really does take the wind out of our sails, and it doesn't motivate us as much as we should be motivated when we have lots of tasks to do. Also, when you have a to-do list and you put it in your planner one day, it's really disheartening when you have to rewrite the task that you didn't get done the day before. It's almost as if when you're writing the task out, you're writing, I am a failure. I didn't get this done. I have to do it again. And the reason we end up recopying these things over to the next day, the reason we don't get these things done is that we tend to either overestimate or underestimate the amount of time something takes, and so we aren't really getting the things done. We think, oh, I can get all these things done today. I'm gonna write all these, I'm gonna be so productive, I'm gonna get them done. Then maybe you're tired and you hit a wall, or you get a phone call, or something comes up, or you just can't do all those things in one day, and you feel like a failure because then you have to write them in and do them the next day, and maybe the next day, or maybe the next day. And it's just not fun, it's not fun. So now I think you understand why I don't like to-do lists. Let's look at an alternative way so that you can actually cross things off every day and feel really satisfied with the work that you've done. I suggest having a master to-do list, maybe in your planner or in a notebook somewhere. And these are all the things that you want to do in the near future. They can be things with your home. You can have different sections for home and work and kids and friends or whatever. All the things that you want to do in the near future, in the sort of farther future, you can section those out as well. But have a place for all the to-dos that you want to do. What I like to do at the beginning of each year is write out a list of 100 things. And these are more dreamlike things that I don't add in all the mundane things that I need to do. But you can have a section for that as well. You don't have to write 100. You don't have to write 50. All I want you to do is to write down everything that you can think of that needs getting done in the near future. Don't lose this list, because oftentimes once it's out of your head, it's gone forever. So make sure if you put it on paper that you know where that paper is. So I like to have mine in the back of my planner. Next, what I want you to do is to break down the tasks that you need to do today or tomorrow. If you're planning for tomorrow, the things that you need to do for tomorrow into actionable steps. I like to call these cross-offable. That's my word. I have a video all on it, but cross-offable. That means that you can, in one sitting or standing or wherever you are when you're doing it, you can get it done. Whether that's a 2-hour block of writing, or that's a jog in the woods that takes a half an hour, or it's 2 minutes to empty the dishwasher. When you're done, you know you're done and you can cross it off. Hence the word cross-offable. Normally, once things are broken down into cross-offable steps, we can more realistically estimate how much time it will take to do these things. So you can then say, okay, I have 2 hours this afternoon to work on this work project. I'm going to do this 15-minute task, this 30-minute task, and this 45-minute task. And if those take longer, then I have that extra room. But if I'm finished in that time or even before, then I have extra time and I can go back to my master list and do the next thing on that list. I'm not alone in suggesting that you pick 3 main things every day and do your best to cross those off. These could be a group of cross-offable steps. Let's say one of those big things that you need to do today is to plan your child's birthday party, which is for the next day, and you have all the preparations to do today. So if you put plan the birthday party, okay, that's your one big task. But then underneath that, you're going to bake a cake, you're going to hang up balloons, you're going to put out the decorations and set the table, all those things. So those are all little small cross-offable steps, which all go under plan that birthday. So all those things you're going to definitely get crossed off because tomorrow's the party. Okay, let's take another example of something that's cross-offable. Let's say you want to KonMari your studio, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm in the middle of it. Hopefully next week I have a video for you. Let's say you want to do that. So you can say KonMari your studio, but like it's taking me weeks. So I can't just put that in every day because I'll just feel bad because I won't be able to cross it off. But if I say KonMari my studio for 30 minutes, when that timer goes off, I can cross it off. Now when you pick your 3 things for the day, you're going to take into consideration maybe you have one big project like that birthday party, so the other 2 are going to be really small. Maybe since you've got so much work to do for the party, you're going to put in read for 15 minutes in a quiet corner of the house. And maybe the third thing could be to call your mom to make sure that she's bringing the candles that you forgot to pick up. So you've got 2 smaller, less time-consuming tasks along with your big one. You just need to estimate how much time each will take and then schedule them into your day. To-do lists and tasks in your planner, of course, will look prettier and be more motivating when they are decorated. So I'm inviting you to join me in my new class on how to decorate your planner. We're going to learn lots of techniques and design principles so that you have the confidence when you open up that blank planner spread, you know exactly what to put and where. It's a 4-week course and you will learn gradually all the things that you need to do so that by the time the 4 weeks are over, you will have the knowledge to make perfect spreads every time. There are lots of bonuses, including sheets of printable stickers, as well as a free mini class. So what are you waiting for? Sign up in the link below. There's a pre-class already waiting for you, and the first module starts on March 16th. So I'll see you there. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what the next task on your to-do list is. Subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. Wednesday, we're getting crafty again with some design secrets. And next Sunday, fingers crossed, it'll be my KonMari video if I can get this place to where I want it so I can share some progress at least. It's coming. It's a lot slower than I thought it would be. There's a lot of stuff in this room. You can click here on my little face to subscribe while you're waiting for my next videos. Here are 2 more that I think you will like. Have a fantastic day and happy planning.